Right, first news story of the week. In more, God, it's grim how everything is going to be owned by 4 companies in no time news. We logged on one evening this week to find out that Bungie, makers of Destiny, have been bought by Sony. For your immediate reaction to this, because I can see how just bleh you are about this whole situation, Mark.
Well,
I love that you had started speaking before I even knew.
I know. The thing with this is, I can't remember who detailed it, but Sony are gonna be planning to make a whole bunch of games as a live service type titles, and whether it was that or whether it was just a case of, hey, we'll get more Destiny or a new Destiny. Like, either way, this acquisition really is a zero-sum game for me, in the same way that Microsoft purchasing Activision was for the most part. But
if they had said we're purchasing Bungie and they're just gonna make a no fuck about shooter that has like substantial single player shit in it,
sure.
I'd be all for it.
All for it, absolutely. But hey, if we're gonna get like a games as a live service racing game and a games as a live service shooting game and a bowling game and whatever else, I don't care. It's not for me. So, it makes sense. It is a smart acquisition to make. It does, I say it rounds off what has been a crazy month, but yeah, God knows what we're going to get next. But you know what? Out of all of this, I like to think that at least IOI will be sitting there in a corner making the Hitman games and no one's going to try and buy them. But you know what? Probably will happen as well.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'll move to you next, Garrett. It was interesting to hear that the Jason Schreiers of the world hinting is like, this is not the last nor the wildest one of these you're going to see for the remainder of 2022.
It's funny, we named like every company under the sun that could be bought on like the last episode of the show, and we didn't name Bungie, which is, of all the companies we named.
Yeah. And
the one I worry most about is Square Enix. Because like Sony's a Japanese company, so Sony buying another Japanese company is most likely. And there's people who root for that, and I'm like, no, Square Enix makes a bunch of small, cool games for other platforms, and I don't want them to stop making those. Yeah. I hate it. I hate that people are rooting for it. That's what really drives me nuts.
The only one that I can totally get people rooting for, as unlikely as it is to happen, is Nintendo buying Konami. Because like Konami don't make fucking games anymore, so there's no fear of them making any less than no games.
Because at least like as Mark mentioned, like for Bungie and Activision, like I don't play those games for the most part. I don't care, wherever they land, I don't really care. If they start buying up studios that make games I care about and want to play, and then I'll start getting very, very worried.
Who owns Roblox?
It's just some.
It's like Roblox Inc. They're their own thing.
Like, that would be a big purchase if someone
Yeah,
decided
but no one's going to buy Roblox. Like, Roblox, if they wanted to, could buy whatever they wanted, but no one's buying them.
They could buy anything they wanted.
They pretty much could buy anything they wanted.
Could they buy you?
They could definitely. Well, no, I'm not for sale. No one's buying me out.
I would like to say, if Roblox would like to pay a lot of money to gain the intellectual property of me, I would be fine with that.
What's your asking price?
Oh, it would disgust you.
A ham
cheap.
sandwich?
It would disgust you. No, we won't go ham sandwich, but it won't be like, I'm not holding out for fuck you Bungie money.
How about a mid-sized dog?
Yeah, by the way, Roblox is currently worth $68 billion by itself, and all they do is make one thing.
Yeah.
Jesus. How much was Activision Blizzard? How much
that was 67 point something.
So it's not out of the question then.
Roblox as a company is more valuable than FedEx and Ferrari.
That's insanity.
Well, not a lot of kids are buying Ferrari cars,
No, they're building them in
true.
Roblox.
Yeah.
Jack, I guess, to you finally, what's your take on the whole thing?
So about Pokemon, right? No. Yeah, Bungie.
Oh, if Sony bought Waylord.
Jesus Christ. Just imagine that. They went through like the whole Pokedex and they're just like, Nintendo's like, look, we're not for sale. We'll let you buy one Pokemon in the Pokedex And someone from Sony's like, you know what? Not Pikachu, the one that's worth all the market value. Wailord. How about that? We just went and bought Wailord.
Yeah,
and then he became
the
the
only
unofficial.
only Pokemon that's larger than the PS5.
We became the unofficial official mascot for Sony. Every time Sony presented something, there was just a giant Wailord lurking in the background for no reason. Oh, I mean, that would be amazing. So Bungie, yeah. Again, a similar, I think, feedback to Garrett in that I don't really play any of their games. I dabbled with the first Destiny, and I was like, oh, this is just one of these, and not one of these that's really kind of keeping me in check and making me feel like anything at all, really. So yeah, I think listening to you guys in the show last week, it really. You know, all of the names and stuff that you were throwing out, like, none of that seems out of the question. And I do just think this is the trend now, that the entire video game industry is going to be monopolized by two companies, and then Nintendo's going to be off to one side, you know, sort of drinking a cocktail in a bathrobe going, hey guys, what's going on? You keep buying stuff. That sounds weird.
Waking up from a nap like, oh, what? Sorry, what I miss?
The statement that really raised my eyebrows, though, was where they said that our original universes have immense potential, and that with Sony's support, we will propel Bungie into becoming a global multimedia entertainment company dedicated to delivering on our creative vision. So, like, are they thinking that, hey, we're going to get a television show based out of Destiny? Like, does Destiny have that kind of crossover appeal? I don't play Destiny enough or ever to know exactly what the fuck the story of Destiny is.
I know Destiny does have a lot of lore. It's a very lore-based game.
There is a lot of lore, yeah, and I just don't care about any of it.
I am hyped for Destiny 3. Knack is back.
But, you know, it seems to be the rage. Like, Netflix and all of these, they're getting content wherever they can, and video games, even to this point that we are, you know, seeing these games being made into TV shows, because we're getting to the point now where, like, there's an actual kind of critical reception to these, and people are watching them, and, you know, we are long past the days of Uwe Boll's Alone in the Dark. Was that one of these? I can't remember which fucking, like...
yeah, he did Blood Rain, didn't he?
Oh, he did, yeah. You know, we're long past those days now, so, you know, I do feel like video games is a massive untapped market of potential for original shows based off of these IPs. So, you know, I think that more than anything else, on top of clearly Sony being like, hey, Bungie can do this live service stuff, let's get them to kind of help with that. Because I was listening to, I think it was Nextlander I was listening to this week, and they were talking about it, and I'm like, look, Sony have the big single player campaign experience down. You know, they've got that with your God of Wars, your Last of Us, whatever else. They can do that. But you think about the big multiplayer experiences, it's not really their forte. Like, Microsoft, you know, that is their bread and butter going back to the original Halo. And even, like, Nintendo, for as fucking weird as they are with their online stuff, you know, when I think about stuff that I've played as a multiplayer experience, I've definitely played more stuff in the last 5 years on Nintendo with, like, Splatoon and Mario Kart than I have on on a Sony game. So it makes sense in a number of aspects for them to make this purchase, other than just like, hey, they own Destiny. Oh, is Destiny going to be a console exclusive? That is like the least fucking important thing out of this acquisition. And yeah, it does seem like we're going to get more. So place your bets, you know?
Yay, baby.
I didn't like when they were like, we want to be a big multimedia company. It's just like, why can't a video game company just be a video game company? It's almost like they're ashamed to admit what they are.
Nothing is just this company now. Like, Netflix has to be a games company, and Microsoft has to be an everything company. It's like, people are like, oh, well, monopolies always existed in industries, but like, it used to be like 4 big film studios made films, 4 big game companies made games, 4 big, you know, at least there used to be variety within industries. Now it's just like Microsoft and Sony and Disney and Apple.
Yeah.